Yeah, a little somber news. Yeah,
Real
Microsoft.
quick, Saul, what's the main character from Space Marine 2?
His name is,
Something
oh, what the
Titus.
heck is it?
Something Titus, right?
Titus.
Titus.
Demetrius.
Titus.
Demetrius. Hold on a
I'm
second.
saying
Interesting.
Titus. It's
Yeah.
too late.
It is what it is. All right, so this one is me. Layoffs, y'all. Yeah, so it looks like Microsoft, again, to add to the 1,900 staff cuts from earlier, 2024, they announced 650 redundancies. And yeah, so it looks like after the new org formed Microsoft Gaming a while back after acquiring Bethesda, ZeniMax, and ABK. In an email shared with, shout out to Windows Central and Jess Gordon, with them, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer announced a new round of layoffs, primarily targeting corporate functions like HR, finance, and marketing. Phil Spencer emphasized that no devices are being canceled and no studios are being closed as a result of the layoffs. And then there was more details as far as the the specific email he went. I'm not going to read it, it's super long, but yeah. So basically, what I wanted to attack this from is just kind of like, as a person, I've been really, affected by this in the sense that, like, my dream was always to be in the games industry. And just seeing this kind of stuff, it's kind of discouraging. So I'm not trying to make this just an Xbox thing and doom and gloom, because it is everywhere. But it does concern me when light will be at the end of the tunnel. And I just want to give a brief story. Like, obviously, I got into IT. I remember getting into IT like around 9/11. And I just got finished, came out of school, got my certifications, your boy ready. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there and I was just like, damn, I can't even get an entry level job. It is that brutal because you have so many people.
And then it makes it bad for people like me trying to get an entry level job.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you have so many senior people that was laid off taking these entry level jobs because the market is just trying to snatch up just to survive. So, look, I know these things tend to be cyclical, and I know, yes, when companies acquire companies, there's going to be redundancies, right? We know you can't have 4 HR departments and 4 accounting when you acquire somebody. I get that. But I am worried about a person who wants to get into gaming, right? Where, let's be honest, there's few protections right now if you get laid off. There's not a lot of opportunities, not a lot of studios you can go to. Then studios are getting closed. And
People graduating right now, that's why I said a couple months ago, like, the biggest issue we're going to have, and I've talked to a bunch of people, is people graduating right now, the
Yep.
young talent, the best
Yep.
talent. They're looking at all the industries they can get into. You would be out of your mind to get in the gaming industry.
That's what it reminds me of. It's like I'm thinking about the young cat who's coming up now, right? He's like, all right, cool. I'm just out of school, got my bachelor, whatever, and I'm ready. And it's like, bro, you ain't gonna get no job right now.
Going to Netflix,
Yeah, like
going to Xbox,
like any of the big 3. It just seems very hard. And basically, also think about even the games, the studios that are existing. If you drop a failed project, oh boy, right? So you got that. I think of Arcane Austin, right? We just saw that. Remember with the Redfall joint. I think of Firewalk being in danger when obviously Concord, arguably the biggest flopping gaming. Bungie, if Marathon don't hit, what's going to happen? Tango, obviously they got saved, but Krafton, I think what was them dudes that did the game with Krafton, the Callisto guys, I think did them.
Callisto
They was
Protocol.
mad.
Protocol.
They was mad. They didn't like that the game they felt came out when they wasn't ready, and Krafton allegedly put it out. They was tight. So, and then the other thing is, we have people now that when they are laid off, they are not coming back to the gaming industry. You look at Tango, even though Tango was saved, not the entire team, because some of them was like, all right, we're good. So we're losing top talent now. Like people are like, nah, this is too volatile. This is not worth the risk. So the final thing I just say my question to y'all, in the age of, 700 consoles, studio closes, losing high-end talent, is a career in gaming even worth it at this point? So I'm going to open it up to y'all. Attic, what you feel?
At this point, man, I still think it's a lot of corporate greed. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. Spent $70 billion, and I get it. It's not how business ran. That's cool. That's cute. I don't care. We see people laying off whole, and it's not just Xbox. It's an industry issue. It's not just Xbox. But we see companies laying off the whole QA team, and then the next game buggy as hell. So I guess they didn't need them, but they needed them, and they didn't want to pay them, but they needed them. So it's just like, and this is where I have to agree with King, where companies feel more comfortable. This is the open beta. We're gonna let you. We're gonna let you test our game pass. You tell us what. You tell us the issues of our game. Thank you. You just saved us $20 million.
You stupid.
And it's just like, you know, I do, but I still encourage open betas because I feel like if at the end it results in a better product, I'm always for that better product. But you know, it is what it is at this point. The gaming industry is going to continue to implode and implode and implode, and then we're going to rebuild from the ground up, I guess. So,
Right.
from the ground up.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. So, I'm very curious. Games industry. We got the layoffs, the latest layoffs from Microsoft, layoffs all over the place. Is it, is it worth it to get in the gaming right now?
I think at this point, obviously, if this is what your dream is, you want to do it. It kind of feels like take the plunge and try to do something for yourself. Start out small, be your own boss, make something smaller that may be sustainable, try to keep your budget down as low as possible and try to enter that way.
Sell your game to Game Pass.
Yeah,
If you can get a bag.
try to get a bag, right? And even then, people that are able to do that successfully, once they're in, a lot of times, well, maybe they don't want to stay their own boss. Maybe they think they'd rather work on something bigger or someplace else or whatever. And then what happens is at that point, doesn't matter what you've done before, you're all of a sudden subjected to all of these, to everything that's going on in the rest of the industry. So you're not, sort of inoculated and immune from it. So, I mean, obviously, I want to say yes because we need game developers, right? If not, the industry going to start dying out because people leave the industry for any number of reasons, whether it be, just getting burnt out or just, like you said, like one too many layoffs and them not feeling like any security.
What happened now?
King is ridiculous. Why can't you just let him take the L?
Yo, this guy be
Go
on
there
Twitter
like this.
He
Go
be on
there
Twitter.
like this.
He be on Twitter hard, boy.
Who?
I just put it in the IOP chat. Go like that chat. Go like that chat.
What is going on?
Continue, Saul.
This is
It's involving you. So
Oh,
It's
Lord.
involving me?
yes, it's involving you.
I didn't see
I
them
was
in the
just
IOP
hanging
chat.
with my brother.
No, it's in the live chat.
Oh, the live chat. Okay.
Oh, he was extra messy.
Oh, wow. He went the world to see this. Yo, that's hilarious.
Yeah, hold on, I gotta-
The moment Saul knew his knees were forfeit to the Yo, it's the faces. It's the faces that do it. Hey, yo, that's why. That's when we went to Boston. On the Amtrak. Yo, the fact that he had that picture in the tuck. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Remember when you threw us up on the Summer Jam script?
That's
Hey,
wild.
Saul, you know what you do? You know what you do, Saul? You bring up how you beat him in that fighting game at PAX East.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna bring up how I said something a year and a half ago.
Continue, Saul. They being messy.
I'm gonna bring up how I predicted that,
Yeah, the ABK deal.
that
Yeah,
ABK,
that was
ABK
huge.
is forever, but if someone would remember certain sacred symbols 300, I think I ended that with a prediction
Ooh.
of more would come.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
we all knew more would come. Some was in denial and some wasn't.
Okay, he was on it. He was on it.
Said Indiana
what we
Jones
did-
wasn't coming. It's a punch.
Dude,
What we did not know was that price was gonna be $700.
I look like my pops here, bro. I really look like my pops in this picture.
That's hilarious. Yeah, that's kind of funny. Continue.
Yeah, so I mean that's it, man. Like again, they're continuing to move forward and trying to figure out, where these redundancies lie, where they can try to, they have to move. They have to be lean moving forward. It's just what it is. They have to be lean moving forward. There's no reason in continuing to pay people, to do jobs that are similar. Like it happens in any sort of merger and acquisition. It's gonna happen. And
You know what the best thing is too, Saul? You just fire some of these people, put their job to AI, then not get back to devs for 6 months.
Wait till I
Hilarious.
talk.
So I mean, it's part of the process. Same reason why I believe, and I wasn't here for this conversation. And there was a whole lot of talk about, when the whole one more thing happened, and there's a whole lot of talk that the reins have been taken from Phil Spencer. I know, I don't know, I don't buy that one bit.
okay.
I'm sorry. Either listen, you die a villain, or you live long enough. Well, you die a hero or live long enough to be the villain. I do not know. I'm sorry. Listen, if
I'm not saying that he's not complicit with what's going on. He's complicit as hell.
he's completely complicit. Yeah, as someone who games and understands the dynamic of whatever the console wars, whatever the case may be, the idea that he would let that happen in that way, it boggles the mind. But to me, it really does feel like that he completely had agency there. It's just at this point, they don't like, this is the message. The message is getting clear. As we go along, the message for the other side is becoming clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. While the hardcore on the Xbox side is like, what are you telling us here? I'm like, well, I'm telling you.
Get Game Pass. Stop playing around.
Get Game Pass. But yeah, I just think, when it comes to this, he's going to keep saying the same things where it's like, hey, I got to run a business. And the business part of it is, we have to really get that right before we can really continue to go back and focus on the art part of it. And they just, they just took over a super big company. It's going to, can I guarantee one thing? There will be more.
Jesus.
It's messed up, but there will be more.
Won't be what they're looking for, though.
And it's not, I understand this this union that's within the company now. It said, this is heartless, and this is any layoff is not good. Like you're gonna upend people's lives. It is. That's just what it is. And the current volatility of the gaming space is making it seem like it's even more so. The hope is that there is a leveling out. Right. The hope is, and we talked about this when it was a COVID situation where it's just like, look, they went crazy because they saw all this growth. And even if they knew in the back of their minds and their hearts, they're like, this is not going to be sustainable. Things aren't going to stay this way. So it's the same thing. They just have to get back to kind of a plateau. I don't know when that is, but I guarantee you there will be more cuts. I don't know how big they are, right? Because they made these huge cuts, and then now it's 650. So who knows what the next number looks like? But there will be more. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Not giving me hope, Sal. I am not giving me hope. But all right.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm here to take it away.
Oh man. All right, kids. Your thoughts? Obviously the layoffs with Microsoft, but just in general,
I'm gonna mute my mic.
Yeah. Oh man, he's like, you already know what's coming. So what are we thinking, man? Is it okay to be interested in gaming now? Like,
No. Don't be interested in going to a big company. All right. One, as an indie developer right now, and anybody that knows how the business structure is right now with the uncertainty that we have going on in the world, you're supposed to become an individual and build on your brand. You're supposed to look inward instead of looking outward at this moment in time right now, because this moment in time is an inflection on humanity. You saw consolidation, and I championed the consolidation, knowing through the consolidation, there will be redundancies and there will be layoffs. I feel that that's partial truth in what's happening. The rise in the layoffs is
ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Is corresponding with the rise in AI. It's paralleling each other. And all right, so you saw how much money that they made during the time when everybody was at home with COVID, right? So a lot of shareholders and individuals got used to that bag. A lot of board members got used to that bag. A lot of investors got used to that bag.
Right.
Now, to tell them once they put people back to work that, that bag is going to change. The market is going to level out. They're panicking. They're trying to figure out, how can we get back to those numbers? I want to get back to those numbers.
Get back to that, yeah.
Yeah, because those numbers was the numbers that was getting me yachts. I don't care about these numbers here. Right?
Yeah, that part.
All right. So now in the rise in the AI stuff, when the language that is being used, that an agent, and this is what they call like your AI counterpart. They call them agents. And if there only takes one commander to look over, you say 7 to 10 agents, that eliminates 7 to 10 jobs and puts one higher up in that spot to overlook that. Now, remember, the whole mission statement was for everybody to be able to be a programmer, not knowing how to program, but to be paired with an agent, and the agent will help you be able to program. Now, if anybody was looking at any of the stuff that I was talking about with AI, go to Xbox Online News, is up there. Mm-hmm. In this industry, I believe in greed. And I want you to understand that greed and capitalism is what's pushing the industry forward. At the same time, everybody's championing technology and champion innovation mm-hmm. and evolution. AI is just that. Mm-hmm. AI is made to replace the replaceable, right? And sometimes you figure out
AI Addict definitely agrees on that.
Oh God!
You see, we replaced Addict.
We already got a replacement.
Yeah. So
like the cowboy hat. And shit.
So when I take his knees, when there's no PlayStation 6, when there's no PlayStation 6, we will have AI Addict at his place. All right. So
you go, King.
The thought process is this. I told people for the last half of this year, because we already did the first half, we're in the last half of this year. Mm-hmm. There's going to be more layoffs. There's going to be more cutbacks. There's going to be more consolidation. Mm-hmm. I think redundancies is just part of the story. Mm-hmm. I do believe that AI is taking people's jobs. I do believe that if you can have an agent doing the same thing that Tim does, the agent doesn't take a break. Mm-hmm. The agent doesn't need to work on not work on the weekends. The mm-hmm. agent doesn't need sick time. The agent doesn't need insurance. The agent doesn't need anything. Mm-hmm. You purchase it, you go about your business, and it's a one-time fee and stuff for the upkeep and on the servers and stuff like that. There's a reason why the DOJ is investigating NVIDIA. I suggest people start to read more and not just read what you're interested in. Read stuff that is actually changing the landscape. This directly affects us, right? Now, you heard Phil come out and say, this didn't affect any games. Mm-hmm. This didn't affect any hardware. And this was more along the lines of upper echelon, like corporate people.
Yeah.
People that was in different positions. Mm-hmm. I don't know 650 different corporate people that was up in those spots. And I don't run $1 trillion company.
Three corporations. I mean, Activision, Blizzard, King, 3 HRs, 3 finances, 3 corporates.
Bring them all in. Okay. I'm not saying anything. It was 1,900 before, now it's 600 now, and it was another number before. Mm-hmm. And right now, these dudes is upward probably more than 3,000 people.
I think about 1,900, but yeah, I see where you're going.
No, they did 1,900 first.
Yeah.
Remember in the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And then they did another number, and now it's the 650. All I'm saying is, I know it's not only them, but I do see the rise of AI is also displacing workers, and I think this is kind of bundled up in there. If they can cut off these people and they can blame it on redundancies, and then they can replace them with these things, that happens. I'm fearful. Again, I could be the canary in the coal mine. If I pass out and die, then y'all know I was talking about it was real, right?
Yeah, we know it's real.
Yeah. I'm like tweet. Right? No, so if I go out, then
no, we ain't go prodigy the situation. Come on now.
But I've never been like I read gaming news, and I read gaming news for new games. I read gaming news for new projects being put up and stuff that's coming out, the future. And I see a lot of layoffs, and that's what I've been seeing. And these are real people with real lives. And then there's an industry. When you have an ex-Sony president saying, go take a year off and go hang out on the beach until everything fixes,
I
or go
did peep
drive
that. That was crazy.
or go drive Uber. That is the most heartless thought process that you can say to an individual that probably packed his family up and moved to Silicon Valley with all that he had, and then found out that, you know, they were laid off. I'm deeply saddened. I don't think the crash is going to be what everybody thinks is going to be. I think the crash is going to be more consolidation. I think you're going to have like a couple of big companies and a bunch of indies that's all over the place. And AI is going to, the first AI game I predict probably from top to bottom with nobody else making it, AI with probably like one collaborator. I think that game comes out late 2025, early 2026. And if that game is a hit, be sure to know the Layoffs is going to be monumental. Because they're going to go straight for that bag when they can just use AI to make the games and don't have to worry about paying and worry about the people. And I really think that has a lot to do with this.
Damn, that's pretty bleak. I don't like that. But no, it's interesting conversation. I just wanted to bring this to the attention of an industry I love, and you know, just I'm sorry, get off.
Yeah, no, but definitely. I speaking about the game thing. So, did you guys hear about the AI, the game engine that it built Doom?
Yeah.
Just by watching Doom, just by like it builds playable Doom without development. Like it just mimics it, and it's playable, and there's no underlying quote unquote like code per se. It isn't built in the same way other games would be built, and it did it by just analyzing, observing.
Analyze what was there already, and then kind of came up with that as a baseline.
Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, definitely tooling will help development. You know, as far as we already see, obviously with PS5 Pro and just already using these kind of upscaling technologies. We'll see when it comes to brand new game development, creating an initial concept without that type of baseline. But if you use the algorithm of other things and see what it comes up with, I think ultimately, and I've said it before in the past, it will human involvement in terms of determining what is art and what they feel is a quality product will have a big factor on if stuff is going to be able to continue to push that way. Because one thing I do feel is that if you make a game, there's going to be some games that, yes, to King's point, that will hit and people are going to go, oh my God, nobody made that, or, you know, one developer and, you know, whatever. Of course, as technology improves. But there's a part of me, again, maybe I am too hopeful, maybe I'm too positive, that says, like, you play something, I think of Addict, I'm like, nah, this is soulless, or, you know, from a quality standpoint, there's something missing here. This is not it. Right. And that's I guess that's the part I hold on to, the fact that we are very perceptive to recognize that something is not quality or not as good as something that is a hand-drawn painting or something that is, you know what I mean? There's always something that's like, that ain't it right there. And the market's going to determine it. The market is going to say, hey, this is it or this is not it. My whole thing is just back to the main thing with the job situation is just, I'm just looking for, is there ever going to be light at the end of the tunnel so that people want to continue to create and make games? Like, because right now, with the way it is, with all these layoffs and some of the best talent, you got Harvey Smith out here, still no, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he cooking up something, right? But you know what I mean? We're losing a lot of talent and they're not coming back is my concern. They're like, oh, I'm good. I'm going over here. So we'll see. We'll see what it is, but just wanted to have that conversation. Appreciate you, King, breaking it down. No doubt.
It's troublesome.
Yeah.
Because I honestly feel like I'm the only guy yelling
I know
about certain things, and I'm not saying that we don't use it. Like you see useful tech as far as AI with the pistol inside the PlayStation 5. That's useful tech.
Right.
I'm just talking about the language that they're using. They're using very poignant language, especially when they're talking in these briefs and in these conventions. The language is they want to make an agent without agency.
Right.
And that on the thought process alone is troublesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, and I know you guys are probably saying, King, you're worrying about Take-Two coming to your house. I'm not talking about that, bro. I'm not. Before it got to Skynet, you saw the abuse of robots, right? You saw everybody's waiting for Elon's $10,000 robot to be in their house. Everybody's waiting for it. I can't wait to pay $10,000 to have this robot, and the name of the robot is Optimus, right? Yo, this and okay.
No, I'm just
no. And I'm not saying it for you.
Yeah.
And all right, so the first one was Optimus. The next one is like Optimus. The last one they have right now is like Optimus the third. And in between that thing, they're showing that they would help with cooking. They're making sure that the AI in the robots can look at you and discern if you're in a good mood or a bad mood. All right, cool. That's gonna get there. Back to what we're talking about as far as work goes.
Right.
If everybody's worrying about this, and I gave y'all just us, the consumers, we're worrying about how can we buy this robot? Everybody want R2D2. We want to live it up. What do you think the CEOs of companies want with their AI? What do you think their goal is?
It goes to make money. They
Right,
could
and
be efficient. Spend as less as possible to get to that point.
And how do you be efficient and make money with looking at that tech? Like the most efficient way would be to eliminate the human element. That's the error, right? And have at least amount of humans that could just oversee stuff and eliminate the payroll,
right,
which is the human element yet again. Now, I'm happy that they do have unions in there, but I don't think the union's covering everybody.
Well, a lot of this also has to be where the government comes involved as far as regulation. And then you got to look at the players involved. But that's another conversation. But I know where you're going.
That's why the DOJ is over there with NVIDIA.
Yeah, I know where you're going. Again, it's just something to pay attention to. I know where you're going. I just wanted to talk on the gaming industry front from a job perspective. But I get what's going on here. But that's what I got. Just wanted to bring it to the light. Saw really super chats.